night. And I was praying. I got real sleepy. A haze come up on me. I went to sleep. I dreamed that I was out west, and I was walking down to the side of the prairie, as it used to be. I've seen an old prairie schooner. The wheel was broken. I laying down sideways, and I was singing that song, or with me. The wheel on the wagon is broken. Of course, that's our broken family, you see. And it won't run no more. And I was whistling like that. The wheel on the wagon is broken, going along. I stepped out to the side of that wagon. It was the most beautiful, blonde-headed girl I ever seen. She's dressed in snowy white. Her pretty little blue eyes are shining. Her blonde hair. She said, "Hello, Dad." I tipped my head. I said, "How do you do, miss?" And she said, "Hello, Dad." I said, "Dad, I beg your pardon." She smiled, and she said, "Well, don't you know me?" I said, "Well, lady, you're as old as I am. How can I be your father?" She said, "Don't you know you're teaching, Dad? You teach immortality. See, I don't believe there'll be little babies in heaven. If they're resurrected little babies, there'll always be little babies. If they're real old people that resurrect on a cane or a crutch, to be that way, immortality don't grow. We'll be one age, one thing forever. We'll be at one age, I believe, with all my heart, about the age of Jesus. That just might be a thought, but I don't, immortality, if it's resurrected, a little baby that big, it will always be that way. I believe we'll be one age. I'll be no old or young. We'll be just in that middle age right there forever. I believe men and women, like God, when He didn't tell Eve she was a little bitty thing rolled up, or Adam, He just made them in His own image, and that's the way He'll do it again. A full-grown statue of people. And she said, "Don't you remember your teaching of immortality?" And I said, "Oh, who are you?" And she said, "Down on earth, I was your little Sherry." I said, "Sherry, that's not you, honey." She said, "Yes, it is, Daddy." She said, "Where's Billy Paul, my brother?" I said, "Well, honey, I don't understand." She said, "Mother's looking for you." I said, "Where's Mother at?" She said, "Up at your home, your new home." I said, "My home?" I said, "Honey, I never had a home." I said, "Branham don't have a home." She said, "But Dad, you got one here." And I turned to look, and there was a great mansion, glory of God coming up. I said, "Is that her?" She said, "Yeah, Mother's up there waiting for you." I said, "All right." She said, "I'm going to wait for Billy. I'll stand right here, and I'll be up after a while." I said, "Mother wants to see you." I took off as hard as I could running. When I got up there, I started running up the big steps like that, and I was coming walking out over the steps. Here she comes. In all of her beauty, white robe on, dark hair hanging down her arms, reaching out. I run to her and grabbed her hands and knelt down. I said, "Oh, honey." I said, "I can't stand it no longer. I'm just about to go wild. Since you've left," she said, "I've seen all along." She said, "Promise me something." I said, "Well," she said, "Promise me you won't worry no more." I said, "I've seen Sherry, honey. Didn't our girl make a beautiful woman?" Said, "Yes," but she's waiting for Billy, isn't she? And I said, "Yes." She said, "Promise me you won't worry, will you?" Said, "Sharon and I are better off than you." "Well, honey," she said, "just promise me you won't worry." And I said, "All right, I won't worry no more." And I raised up like this and looked around, and she said, "Will you sit down?" And I looked at a great big chair sitting there. And I looked at that chair, and I looked back at her. She said, "I don't want you to thinking." Here's what it was. I was a preaching. We didn't have nothing, just an old hickory bottom chairs we was living in, a house. And I preach, pass the night, work all day long with an air hammer, pick and shovel. I come in at night, I wanted to buy one of them chairs, and Morris chairs, you call them, whatever it is, lounge chairs. And I wanted to buy one, they was for sale in for $15.95. And I could pay $1 down and $1 a week to pay for it. And I got one. And moved it into the house, and I sat there at night and just relaxed when I come in and study the Bible till I go to sleep. And one day, while I come in and I got it done, I couldn't make the payment that week. The next week passed, I couldn't make the payment, and they sent me to come get my chair. And so I just couldn't make the payment. I just couldn't do it. So I thought, you call them up and tell them to come get it, honey. And so I remember coming in that evening. She baked me a cherry pie. I love cherry pie so well. I went in, she'd had some of the boys that dig some fishing worms so I could go fishing and setting out. She was a real girl. And so she had sat out there and we come and eat supper. I think she was extremely happy or seemed to be putting on something. She had a big cherry pie. And I was eating and after it was I kind of sufficient something. So I said, let's go in the front room. She said, oh, let's go fishing first down the river. I said, no, let's go in the front room. And she put her arm around me. When I walked in the room, the chair was gone. She started crying. She put her head over my shoulder. She said, I'm sorry, honey, I tried everything to borrow $2 even. But said I couldn't do it. We paid about $10 on it. And said I couldn't do it. We just had to let it go. And then she looked at me and she said, you thinking of that? And I said, yeah. She said, well, sweetheart, there'll never be nobody coming to get this one. It's already paid for. It's belongs to you. Said, you've been so tired. You've been preaching and praying for the sick. I wasn't praying for the sick then. So I know that sometimes by going we'll probably need the platform praying for the sick. That's been the thing that helped you get that. She said, but you'll never come take this. Said it's yours. Now sit out and rest a while. One of these days, friends, I know I'm going day and night. I'm trying all that I can do to live and do what's right before God. One of these days, I'm going home to rest. That's right.
Sin. You know that? It was born in sin, shaped in iniquity, come to the world speaking lies. And that soul was the same way until the soul died and then was born again of God. Then that soul can't die. The soul that sinners shall die, but he that believeth on me has everlasting life. Then there's an immortal life living in that body. Now that's like a stream coming from heaven, like a core on the inside of a man. Now that's the part that's godly. It operates this body, but before this body can ever become perfected, the Spirit will bring it in submission to God to make you war all the time, but constant. Paul said, we'll never get more than he. See? Paul said, when I would do good, then evil is done. And there's a constant war, the flesh against the Spirit. And here if you go look at the flesh, the doctor said, I believe, look how it's sinful. Let you...
Right. And remember, when this breath passes from this life to you old people, or to you young people, and you mothers, when you see your little babies, that little girl baby died when she wasn't 8 days old or 5 days old. She'll be a beautiful young woman when you see her. Yes. That old grandpa was all so stooped over, he couldn't hardly see where he was going. When you see him, grandmother, he'll be a fine, handsome young man, just as young as about 20 years old, just in the splendor of youth, and he'll be that way forever. Yes. You can touch his hand. You can shake hands with him. You'll throw your arms around him, but he won't be hubby. He'll be brother. Oh, my. He'll be so much greater than hubby. You think you loved him? Sure you did. But that was filio. Wait till you get agapo. Wait till that real divine love catches and then see what it is. This here just is like an old smoldering dump. It's no good. There's nothing to it. Only thing I advise you to do now is this, my friends.